campaigns have officially been flagged off. So talk to us about what Nigerians should be expecting in the days to come.
Well, thank you, wonderful ladies, for having me today. Yes, we just returned from Jos and still very high on the events of this day. It was completely electric. It was, unbelievable. The crowd, the dignitaries, Nigerians who were there to grace this important event of the flag off of the presidential campaign by the APC, our party, and our candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Everyone was there. It was just pulsating, and we're very excited at this event. And I think that we're going to be, cruising on the energy and the excitement from this event for some time, going into the season. But significantly, Mr. President of the Federal Republic, President Muhammadu Buhari, was there. He sat through the entire event patiently. He didn't look left, he didn't look right. He was absolutely focused on that event. And when he eventually got the moment to speak, he was very brief, but he was very clear. And that is that he, as chairman of the Presidential Campaign Council, would lead the campaign for this candidate of our party to victory come next election.
Okay. I don't know if you were also in Jos, but Plateau State. Why Plateau State? How significant is that? Yes, it's the state of the Director General of the Presidential Campaign Council, Governor Simon Lalong. But some will wonder, is that an incursion into the north to pacify northern Christians? Why Plateau State? Tell us.
Let me start like my brother, Barrister Felix started. Good evening, beautiful ladies. Plateau is just a wonderful place to be. I mean, if you remember, Plateau carries a huge history. In 1993, when the SDP had its primaries, when we had what they call the option A4, I was a university undergraduate then. It happened in Plateau State. And that was one of the events that catapulted our current candidate into national limelight. After that, the election that finally culminated after the Plateau State event was illegally and wickedly annulled. And then people had to form all manner of self-help organizations, especially the NADECO, that helped to bring back democracy after several years, and a lot of lives have been lost. So Plateau is a significant state, and it's also a state I find very lovely because I did my secondary school there. So I always see myself as a Jos boy too. So Plateau is central to Nigeria. So if you want to understand why we are using Plateau, Plateau is central, and we want to move from the middle to go through like an osmosis kind of arrangement. So Plateau forms the fulcrum, that is the center point of Nigeria, and we are taking it from the center to move to the east, the west, the north, and the south to cover the entire land of Nigeria. And I don't think anybody needs pacification. The Christians have been spoken to. I, for instance, I am a Christian. I'm not just a Christian, I'm a born-again Christian, tongue-talking, fire-breathing. So Christians are not aggrieved. They don't need any pacification. Because I was also living in Lagos when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State. And I can assure you, many of us did not even know he was a Muslim until maybe some people decided to start calling him Ahmed. Then it was Bola Tinubu, and we never knew he was a Muslim. So for us as Christians, we have no fear about his candidature. We have no doubt about his sincerity towards Nigerians. This man has been married to a Christian for 40 years, and he has not had any issue. His children are mixed. He has Muslim among them. He has Christians among them. He is and as a Yoruba man, and I'm also a Yoruba man, in our society, we don't have issues with religion. If you come to my family house today in Ogbomosho, you find out that my father is a Christian, is a deacon. If you go into our family house deep inside, the head of the family is an Egungun worshipper. Then some other people are Muslims. So we don't have issues with religion. So we are not pacifying any Christian, because Christians are part and parcel of what we are doing. They have nothing to worry about. We are just coming from the center. Like I say, it's an osmosis kind of arrangement, so that you just permit the entire Nigeria society. So that is why we started in Plateau. It's a beautiful place to be in, and like my brother say again, just as beautiful as you beautiful ladies in the studio.
Right. Well, the political significance of Jos, the Plateau State capital, we cannot talk about that enough. But at the end of the day, a lot of people have been looking forward to this campaign officially kicking off. You are the party in charge of Nigeria at the end of the day. Felix Moka, let me bring you back now. Of course, Renewed Hope 2023 is the tag for the campaigns for Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC going into the elections. But looking at the statement by your national chairman today, he says, you know what, just paraphrasing from what he says, we have to put in work to win. And some are saying maybe the APC has not performed as good as a lot of Nigerians expected. But talk to us right now. You're done with the flag off. What next as it concerns the campaign of the APC, especially for the presidency?
The comments by our national chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, was meant to underscore the competitiveness of elections. The fact that you're the ruling party doesn't, mean you should, rest on your oars. You should not do your utmost to, vie for, struggle for, and persuade Nigerians to cast that last ballot for the party. I think he was making the point that, we shouldn't just, assume or take anything for granted. It's an election. It's like going into a soccer tournament or any competitive sport. You go there with your best team and with your best effort, with your best endeavors to try to win. I think that's what he was calling for today. He was saying to all party members, rise up. This is the flag off of our party's campaign. Now it is time for every party member, all of our 40 million plus members, to rise up and realize that we are facing a major challenge. We are the ruling party, but we're facing a major challenge from a number of political parties. And the chairman was saying that we need to go out there and put our best, foot forward. But he also, I think, did great. He highlighted all of the fantastic accomplishments of this president and the ruling party in government, and really made it clear that on so many points on the scorecard that this government has done a good job, and therefore that we have at least the basis on which we can engage with Nigerians to persuade them to actually support us in the election that is afoot.
Ayo, your presidential candidate today began his speech by saying that hope is back. He also said that this election is a fight to define the soul of the nation. He said no longer again should Nigerians allow jackals or looters. When you hear such language and such speech from your presidential candidate, one begins to wonder, is this out of desperation? Is this out of love for country? What we incite your presidential candidate to say, it's a fight to define the soul of the nation, and hope is back. Where did hope go in the first instance? You've been in government for 7 years plus, Ayo.
Well, hope renewed is because Nigeria already started to see hope. You remember our current president asked a question, I think 4 years ago, thereabout. 16 billion was spent on electricity. He asked, and where is the power? We can't find the power. So, but if you have followed the event, even in your studio here, I can assure you, you have been using less generator in the past couple of months. It is because before he died, the former chief of staff, may God bless his soul, wherever he is today, he led the federal government delegation to Germany to do something with Siemens, and today we are seeing the fruit of it. And we didn't spend $16 billion to do that. You also can remember when our military men were fighting against Boko Haram in the 2013, 2012, 2014 period, when bullets had to finish in some of their guns and they had to be using bare arms to fight. Today, it doesn't happen that way anymore. Today, I think we are the best and most equipped Air Force in Africa today, thanks to this President Muhammadu Buhari. So when our candidate is now saying, no longer should we allow jackals and looters, he's saying clearly that we will not have a situation where arms money, we remember how it became Father Christmas under some people, where they were sharing arms money. Some people got some amount for prayers. Some people got some amount to give journalists at the end of Christmas. All manner of nonsense were going on. Meanwhile, our military were dying without equipment in the arms of Boko Haram. Today, they have been well equipped and they are still continuing to be equipped. So our candidate is saying, whatever is meant for each aspect of our national life will be spent for that. Also, you must remember that at a time, we are the highest importer of rice. Today, we are the highest producer of rice in Africa. So Hope Renew, yes, the price may be high, but that is because what you will call factors of production have set in. Over time, the black prices will stabilize. We had just 3 rice mills in Nigeria before President Buhari took over. Today, we have over 50 to 100 rice mills going on. So clearly, what we are saying is that jackals will no longer take over the government of Nigeria. We'll have people, decent people with heart for Nigerians. People who will not say we are going to do this, take the money and share it among party members. Rather, they will use whatever resources available for Nigeria for Nigerians.
I mean, people listening to you will think that your party is just attempting to come into government at the center for the first time.
It's a continuation.
You've been there for 7 years.
Yeah, it's a continuation. What I mean is this. President Buhari has laid a solid foundation in terms of infrastructure, in terms of agriculture, in terms of equipping our military. What Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is now saying is that this foundation that has been laid will now be built upon. You will not have a situation. Okay, let me give you an example. The Itakpe Warri Alaja rail that goes through was abandoned after 40 years. Today, President Buhari has completed it. The Lagos-Ibadan rail was never even touched. It was commissioned in 2017, and today it is running freely. The Abuja-Kaduna rail that was suspended because of issues will start sometimes this month again. What we are saying is this. Rather than do white elephant project and steal all the money without result, what you will find now is that President Buhari ensured that whatever should be done is being done. So Asiwaju is now saying this will continue. That is the renewal of hope. Nigerians should not be afraid that a new government will come in and steal everything like they used to do. Rather, we will have what you call continuity of sincerity, of honesty. They have been preaching Second Niger Bridge before I was born. But today, Second Niger Bridge is standing. By this December, our brothers in the southeast can go home freely without the usual traffic congestion because of President Muhammadu Buhari. So hope renewed for our people. This is what we are talking about. The sincerity that whatever covenant we have with Nigerians, we will ensure that our covenant is not just a covenant in mouth, but it will be truly in action and in deed.
Right. Well, it is quite refreshing to actually see the APC stand almost united. Well, looking united today, especially seeing how turbulent the entire process was, from the picking of the vice presidential candidate to even setting up of the campaign council. We know all of those controversies. But Felix, let me bring you in here. I'm talking about unity at the end of the day. The fact that, you know, all 22 governors under the platform of the APC galvanized together today, you know, speaking one language. Renewed hope is what they're saying, but at the end of the day, there's still some issues that, of course, some looking from the outside will be worried about. And some of those issues are some of the litigations where we're seeing almost in Akwa Ibom state, from the gubernatorial candidate to even senatorial candidate. And of course, some are saying, how can we avoid a situation of what happened back in 2019? So, Felix, as we continue with this presidential campaign, talk to us about, you know, ensuring that this unity that we saw on stage today continues even beyond
and
the
it's not
campaign.
just optics.
Yes.
No, it's not optics alone. Well, it's optics, but it's beyond optics. It's real. What you saw today was a total demonstration of faith and good faith by our members. across the board, across the divide, across all of the pre-primaries tensions that have completely dissipated into this level of oneness that we put up today. And it's sound, it's real, and the people behind it, some of them I know and have engaged, are very, very passionate about the idea. They've been very selfless about this whole thing. So, sometimes I get questions from our colleagues in the media about, how we didn't see this individual. At any event, you don't expect everyone to be present. But make no mistake, our leaders, our candidates who were, rather aspirants who contested in the primaries, are all solidly behind this candidate of our party. And Mr. President today, I think, spoke on behalf of the membership of the party to say that we are standing tall behind our candidate, and we're going to put the wind behind him, into the elections and into victory. Look, let me just say that today we had quite an unfortunate event where a lawmaker from Lagos State, Sobo Olawale of the Lagos House of Assembly, apparently slumped and died. I think this has been confirmed by the Speaker of the Lagos Assembly. I want to absolutely pay my respect to the family, to this man who came out to just, alive and well, but unfortunately, had to go. Today, we really sympathize with the family, and on behalf of the our national chairman, the National Working Committee of our party, we want to commiserate with the family and wish them well. They will remain in our prayers throughout this very difficult period. But having said that, I think that the rest of us who are privileged to still be breathing God's air, we have come out of Jos, and we're looking forward to tomorrow to begin the next steps. In
so
this long
tomorrow we're
process.
Expecting the next stage of the campaigns. Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
yes. Tomorrow is a new day. Will be a new day for us, where our candidates and our party members will, go out there to, speak to Nigerians. It's not just about the candidates; it's about all of us, from the units to the wards, to the local government, to the state. In Delta, for instance, on Saturday, we are, again flagging off the governorship campaign of our candidates, the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Omo Agege, who will be joined by again our presidential candidates to flag off this huge program of campaign in Delta. We are looking forward to it, and I think that every party member, not just in Delta but across this country today, has been a beautiful day for all of us.
Well, indeed, we at Arise also commiserate with you, the APC, and of course the family of the lawmaker who slumped and died at your presidential campaign flag off in Jos today. May he so rest in peace. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. We would have talked about that unfortunate incident, the fracas to talk about, because it's something we are beginning to see on campaign grounds, regardless of the political party. Hopefully, we'll get both of you back, and sometime, perhaps the presidential candidate himself to come and